You've seen my first guest tonight in the films Blade Runner, No Way Out, and her new film, Love Crimes. Please welcome Sean Young. You know what, Sean?
Nice deco outfit
Yeah.
in here. Yeah.
You dig this thing?
Yeah, I dig it. It looks good.
Yeah. You just got here right a few minutes ago, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
What a cool life.
420, I'm sorry.
What a cool life, blowing down La Brea in your limo, late, who cares? And now we're doing the show.
I was really nervous.
Wow.
It wasn't so cool.
Ladies, once a month, I want you to do that. Because only a trained expert knows where to look exactly. So, you know what I'm going to do tonight, because I'm sure you're really bored. We won't talk about Jimmy Woods at all.
Thank
it's
you.
such a drag.
Woo.
I mean, it's, people meet, people go bumping the night. It gets weird sometimes, you know. Everybody
or
moves
sometimes
off.
people don't go bump in the night and it gets even weirder.
Yeah? Well, I think you've just told us everything. But it is weird the way Führer seems to
Surround me.
fall. Well, you know, it's weird. And I often wonder, I look at you, and I've seen you on a lot of talk shows, and I think, does she hate it? Or is there a perverse party at the center that kind of, you know, somehow some people love living in the maelstrom sort of thing? Or do you just hate it?
No, golly. No, I guess I expect it now. I've kind of grown used to it. I compare it to like being a soldier. You sort of go into battle, and it's not the most comfortable thing for you, but you get wiser, stronger, and braver, and more courageous as you go along. And Hollywood is such an honest and, you know, beautiful place filled with such wonderful people that, you know, I guess I just stick out in some way.
Yeah, but you know, it's really no grimmer than any town. I mean, if you think about it, I always I always say that about Hollywood. And God, I've met some nice people here. It can turn ugly.
I've met a lot, mostly nice people,
Yeah.
but they're all in a crew. They're all like the working people. You know what I mean? Usually, people in positions of power, you know, they get like intimidated if you don't take any crap.
Well, it can't. You know, yeah, the higher ups can get weird sometimes.
Yeah,
but you have to remember that everybody here lives like day to day. I mean, it's so weird. They check those numbers in the morning. They check those grosses.
I never check numbers.
No?
I mean, I just can't even relate to numbers like
Yeah.
that. Although I'm really hoping y'all go see Love Crimes, because I'm going to go. I'm going to check out the
we're
numbers
just
on
complete
this one,
hippies
you know?
over here. And we're in Marin
I never
County,
did
and-
check out numbers, but seeing how numbers seem to be so important to so many people here, you know, you kind of get overwhelmed with the responsibility of all that blockbuster mentality. You
Yeah,
know?
I think the best way to look at LA is just like a company town. You know, there's a product here. They like to put it out, and it gets, and all the press that's attendant to it, it can get weird when it turns on you. I think that's what's happened to you.
I
You know, you
I tell you, I get a lot of fan mail, and I get a lot of people who give me support and encouragement, and I am surrounded by people who I work with who are also really supportive. There's a handful of little Hollywood phonies that maybe have a problem with me, but that's not the whole world.
Right.
You know, that's a few people.
Well,
So,
even the
like,
Catwoman thing got weird, right? I was just reading. Now, I always thought, I had heard this story. It kind of comes on the grapevine. She showed up in a Catwoman outfit. And that
What
didn't
did you
even
hear?
happen.
What did you hear?
I just, you wanted the part, and
Yeah.
you showed up in a Catwoman outfit, and they wouldn't let you in or something.
Yeah,
But
is that so terrible?
no, but you didn't even dress like Catwoman, did you? Or you
Well,
just
I had a little
you dressed
cat-
kind of
I had
slinky?
like cat makeup on. The first interview was for Tim Burton. I wanted him to meet me, and he wouldn't. He like hid under the desk, you know. And so what I can't understand about that situation was like it was totally Catwoman of me. He just didn't get it, you know. And plus, I had been cast in the first Batman, and about a week before we did the production, I was asked to get on this horse, and I ended up falling off and hurting myself, breaking part of my arm.
And then Keaton got the thing.
No, he was already.
And then Kim Basinger
I
got
really
the phone.
felt like 5 minutes of his time was not allowed to ask, seeing that
He really hid under his desk?
You know, well, that's what I was told, you know.
Jeez.
Or, I mean, that he hid. But, you know, I think that's kind of like part of that Hollywood mentality, which should change. People should be human beings regardless of the amount of success that, drops on top of them.
Now, have you come to this insight from the School of Hard Knocks, or did you have this all the way along?
I think I've had a good time all along, and
Yeah?
I've treated people well all along. And if somebody that I've gotten angry with, it's because I've been incited to,
Well, you know what? I will tell you this. When I read these stories about anybody, I often think, I'm like anybody. Human beings read stories. There's that perverse, I think it's called, the Germans call it Schadenfreude, that vague...
Huh? What?
There's a thing called Schadenfreude. It's like a vague pleasure you take in other people's misery, and I think human beings have that. But you know what? I don't really think I know anything about you. When I'm finished those articles, I go, oh, shit, it seems weird, and then you think, how do you know any of that exists? So I think most people think that. I don't think everybody's out there.
I have that feeling, too, that there's a lot of support out there for me.
You kind of read it, and it delights you, but you don't really know. Hey, we're going to take a commercial. We'll be right back after this. We're back with actress Sean Young. Now you have a new film, Love Crimes, and it's with that, I think that guy's good. He's spooky, isn't he? Bergen.
Yeah.
And I saw Patrick Bergen was the guy in the...
Sleeping with the Enemy.
Sleeping with the Enemy.
Yeah, with Julia.
And what's this one about? Tell him.
Well, I played Dana Greenway, and she's an assistant DA, and she sort of gets obsessed with this guy who has a pattern of these women who press charges against him and end up dropping the charges, and he impersonates a famous photographer sort of to manipulate them and becomes intimate with them, and the women are sort of caught in a very gray area, which is they do engage in sex with him a lot of times, but then they feel responsible for it later on, and so they drop the charges. And there's a lot of data.
And my favorite shade of gray, by the way.
It's a very European kind of film, actually. It's not real straightforward, because she has all these memories from her childhood that sort of become unleashed as she goes after this guy, which she does outside of the police, force. She sort of pretends all of a sudden that she's a cop, and then gets caught by him and thrown in this closet, and all these things start to happen to her, become available to her memory when she was a little kid. And
big closet. Big closet.
Yeah. And it's kind of scary for her. So.
Well, can we take a peek at it here?
Yeah.
Let's just a clip from Love Crimes. Okay, yeah. Well, now, did we stay on the clip too long freezing, or did you actually break your neck there and we're kind of just stuck?
Yeah, I think they're really going for that commercial thing in this movie. They've cut it, very commercially. And at that particular time in the film, she breaks out of the closet by banging on it, and she waits for him and gets the old knife, and she wants to kill him. And there are things about her character that aren't totally together as well.
The knife thing,
yeah,
being one
knife
of them.
Thing. Well, she's protecting herself, or so she thinks, although she did follow him there in the first place. So.
Well, when you're on the first date and the Ginsu comes out, you're on a very funky roll at that moment. You're married now, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I saw the ring there. What's your hubby about? He's an actor too, right?
And a singer. A very good singer, yeah.
And you tap dance?
Yeah.
You guys ever put little shows down on the TV room?
I love tap dancing. Gregory Hines and I are on a board of the American Tap Dance Orchestra.
There's an American Tap Dance Orchestra, and you guys sit on the board?
Yeah, we sit there on this board.
That's a really specific honor.
Well, it really is. Because I want to tell you, tap dancing is the only indigenous form in American dance. It's the only form that we have made ourselves. Everything else was imported besides
what about the
American
limbo?
Indian dancing.
The limbo
Maybe
is
the limbo.
from...
No, I don't think
I got you
You
there.
might be right. I don't know, the limbo. That's like
you all
a
remember the limbo,
Avalon
don't you?
thing,
Guys would
right?
have those door hinges put in at their knee, and you
Like-
just go back and somebody light the bamboo pole and put it on the Coke bottles. I'm going under, damn it. Maybe it's just me. What the Thank you. It's my first week. You're so kind. Anything I say, yeah, Dennis, where he's hung out there. Let's clap. And you live in Sedona.
Sedona. Say
Sedona.
that. Sedona. There you
I'm
go.
sorry. We had Diane Ladd on last night. She lives there, too.
Yeah.
Real peaceful, spiritual place?
Well, they say it's spiritual. It is a very beautiful place.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, startlingly beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, Shung. It's nice, Sean. I called you Shung. I called you Shung. Reverend Sun Ming Moon, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after this. Thank you, Sean.
I'm sorry.